responsible from far away. That's the scam. No, the scam is you seeing wristwatch and immediately planning honeymoon mentally. Please, this one looked expensive properly, not fake rich, real rich, calm rich. And yet you're back here arguing under this noisy fan. Temporary situation. You've been saying temporary situation for almost 1 year now. Manifestation takes time. Suddenly time matters to you people. You know what annoys me about you? You always talk like suffering builds character. Of course. I even prepared seriously for this date. Serious preparation, as usual. No, listen, I say, okay, Angel, behave like somebody that belongs around money. That's already your first mistake. So I ordered salmon. Why would you order salmon when you don't even like fish? Because rich girls eat salmon. Who told you all these things? It's the vibe. Imagine ordering rice there. Rice offended you? No, but there's a way waiters look at you when you order affordable things. This is why social media needs regulation. You don't understand soft life culture. No, you don't understand your bank account. God forbid I suffer slowly. Nobody says suffer slowly. That's exactly what all of you hardworking people say. Be patient, trust the process, start small. Meanwhile, everybody online is in Maldives drinking cucumber water. And you believe everybody online is happy? At least their unhappiness has better lighting. Then this man starts asking me interview questions during the date. Like what? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Normal question. How is that normal during appetizer? Let me digest first before we start planning destiny. No, because everything was too serious, too organized, too mature. I was getting scared. You people want financially stable men until this. No, but relax small. Why are you sounding like TED Talk? What else did he say? He said he likes intentional women, meaning serious women. Everybody's intentional nowadays. Nobody explains anything. Intentional how? Are we building hospital? Then he said relationships should be about building together. How's good now? How is it good? Why are rich men always looking for assistant builder? You already have money. Continue from there. So what exactly do you want? Let me enjoy first before you start inviting me into motivational speaking.
You are actually allergic to reality. Reality is too aggressive. That's my issue. Your issue is that you think enjoyment is urgent. It's IS urgent. Have you seen this room? Even this fan is suffering. Leave the fan alone. At least the fan works. Unlike your plans.
See why I don't like banker men. See why stress me.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching. Good morning and welcome. It's another beautiful day of class, and you guys know whenever it comes to talking about storytelling using AI, oh my goodness, I am always fired up, right? We are in the middle of week 2. So wake up, everybody. Anyone who is not here right now, tell them they are missing out. They are missing out. If they are not here right now, we are not wasting time. I'm jumping into today's class, right? So yes. I'm going to be shouting out people, of course. You guys know how we do this, yeah? Soul Frames, how you doing? I saw another channel called Soul Frame Africa, and I thought that was you. And then I checked. I saw that the DP was different. So probably you want to check that out. Soul Frames, hi. It's good to be here. Yeah, greetings to you. Okay, so Rose International Studios is also here. Hi, Rose International Studios. How you doing? How have you been? What's your take on our previous classes? How's it been for you? Honest feedbacks, you guys. If you've been attending our classes so far, what's it like? What has it been like for you? I want to hear honest feedbacks. Okay, today we are beginning to transit, right? We are transiting into that space where we are not just talking about the show, because I know we're all fired up about creating the show, right? But how about the biz aspect of things? How do we monetize this thing? So as you can see here on the screen, we're talking about from storytelling to content strategy. So we have talked about establishing your story, coming up with your story, all of that, right? We are about to start to translate it. Okay? We're about to start to translate what we have been doing into money, step by step. So yes, remember we have like a long way to go, but we have to do this gently. So I'm saying that because we leave our videos live, and I was trying to be very nice to people so that people don't feel like, oh, we left them out or left them behind, but look at the turnout. It's really, really discouraging. This behavior, I have seen it before. And you guys, we might have to reconsider even our partnership with Oladuni's production, because we were assured of the crowd. we had an agreement of a certain number of people per live stream, and so far we have not even hit those numbers. So it is really, really discouraging. Do we continue or do we close this up? You guys, please help us decide and help us get, the people involved, because there is no point I can show up here at the right time and people cannot show up, right? It's passing a message. That means their time is more important than mine. And really, my time is really very important, especially when I'm not being paid for this, right? But I can show up. So it means that there is something wrong in the communication. So you guys, help me with your feedbacks, okay? And help us get the right people into these live streams, because we're really putting in a lot of effort to bring this live, to bring this to you, right? There is no gatekeeping, there is no slowing down. I didn't say, okay, because this is free, no, I'll just do it anyhow. No, we are putting in the work, putting in the effort. Please, all we ask is that support for people to really show up and, give us value in return. Your own way of paying me is to show up to this live stream, connect, and of course, like the live stream, share it to more people. Even outside this class, yes, you are free to share it. You are free to share it, even outside the class, even outside here, because this is a YouTube channel. We're trying to reach more people. We are trying to connect to more people. That was what we were assured, by taking the partnership between SAB Studios and Oladuni's production. So I'm putting this out there because every one of us collectively, we have the, we can actually do this if we choose to. We know someone, we have groups that we belong to. So if we can share this out, if we can invite more people to join in, then I feel like this live stream will be packed, right? So please, let's do our own part, because the numbers are not encouraging. Once these numbers continue like this, I have already told the organizers, if I do not see improvement in the numbers by the end of this week and next week, we might have to reconsider the whole thing. Okay? All right, so that's out there. We're moving on. I'm going to be shouting out those who are early to class and those who are here. Any other person that joins in, well, I don't know. I don't think they deserve my attention, do they? Right? Okay, so yes, I see the Reformers Art Institute is here again. That's the scribe. Usually, I feel like I should make you class monitor, right? We need a class monitor, a class rep for, that would also be assisting the mentors and working with you guys. The Reformers has been very active, and, with Rose International, I love the two of them. I don't know, is this actually a balanced thing? Is this a male and a female? So that we'll just choose, okay, one is class rep, one is, because Rose International has been early to class, back to back, apart from Soul Frames. And then we have the Reformers. The Reformers Art Institute has also been very active and participatory during classes. Okay, so you guys, you know what to do, right? Once you see your names show up here, it means that you're active. It means that you are ready to connect. So please connect with everyone you see in the chat. All right, so Rose International is saying the classes have been awesome, mind-blowing, and eye-opening for me. Okay, and of course, thank you so much for that feedback. We have the journalist here. And we have, it's been amazing. That's the Reformers. This is from the Reformers Art Institute. It's been amazing, really engaging and educative. I used to like AI users. I used to be like AI users are just lazy. But this class changed the whole game. I've been transformed with this knowledge. Amazing. That's a good feedback, you guys. Please, somebody take a screenshot of it. We need that as highlights. You see, you just made me smile now. I came into the live stream and I wasn't feeling, of course, till now, this is 15 minutes into, and we still have very little turn up. So, but this just made me smile. Thank you for that feedback. Okay, so I mean not only as an AI filmmaker, but also as a scriptwriter. So very, very valuable always. Thank you, Soul Frames. And okay, I see more chats. Please, let's keep them coming. Let's keep them coming. It has been educative, and previous Monday was my first time of learning about contrast in writing a script. Amazing. Okay, so you guys, thank you so much. Please, let's get more people on board. Let's get more people on the live stream, because there is no point being here and we don't have more people, showing up for the live stream. Okay, please, let's get more people on here. You can copy the link and share it to the group, just in case the mentors are not on board and they've not shared the link. Please copy the link and share it to the group, right? Please copy that link, share it to the group, get more people, tell them that we are live and we are waiting. 1 more minute and then we go into it. Okay, so yes, let's talk about your assignments, you guys. I saw a better turnout on your assignments, which was good and encouraging. Well done. But you guys, please, I feel like we should be giving feedbacks to people. I think Rose International did that. Someone completely veered off course the assignment, and Rose had to call them to order. I loved it. So please, let's check each other, okay? Some people are here and they are not here. Some people are not even attending the classes and they're just looking at your assignments and then they just copy it and just, try to do something about it and think that they are doing it, right? So let's check each other. Let's check people on the group. Anyone who is attending, you will definitely see, that they are doing the work. But if they are not attending, you would see that, they are just trying to, rough it, right? So let's correct them, and let's get people back on board and encourage them to attend the classes. Okay, so today, you guys, it's 15 minutes already. I was looking at the time and I said that once we have 15 minutes, we're going to jump right in. So today we're talking about the bridge between all that you have learned and moving forward from show to bees. Of course, throughout the course of these classes, we're going to be balancing the show and the bees, right? So, but we are going to be doing a soft launch today, talking about moving from storytelling to content strategy. Okay, because there is no point, you're not creating this story just for yourself, right? And a lot of creators are making the same mistake. Yeah, you start up a YouTube channel, you start up an X, page, you start up your TikTok, and you're expecting that because your story is good, I created this very interesting story, people should like it for whatever reason, and nobody shows up, you start to feel discouraged. Yeah, that's because there was no strategy. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? So tell someone to tell someone to tell someone. If they want to miss out, then that's their luck, okay? So some of these classes are going to have to be restricted because we want people to show up. That's the whole point. Okay, so let's jump right in. So you can see that there are different visual styles on here. We have AI visual styles. Yeah, just before I forget, tomorrow we're going to be doing a live demo on how to write a complete script from start to finish. I'm going to be doing a live demo. So anyone who misses that, okay, not tomorrow, on Friday, the next class, yeah, we're going to be doing a live demo. I'm going to show you how to use your AI. Using all that you have learned, we're going to do a live demo for you to see how to write a complete script. So you are here, you're thinking, okay, so I now have these basics, but how do I put it all together? Yes, we're going to be completing and rounding off everything about script writing, because basically that's the foundation of every film production. You have to have the idea, come up with your stories. You have been shown how to do that, right? But what if you want to create your script on the go, right? You want to make sure that you have multiple scripts ready to be able to be ready for production. And you don't want to spend 3 months writing a script. You don't want to spend 2 weeks writing a script. You don't want to spend 1 month writing a script. How can you do it within 15 to 30 minutes per day? Right? I'm going to be showing you that a live demo. Okay? We're going to be doing it together. So tell someone to tell someone to tell someone that they must not miss the classes that we are doing from henceforth. Because I know that some of us are professionals who feel that, oh, what is she saying that I don't know? Right? So maybe you have missed all that part, and you feel like maybe that's why you did not show up to the classes. From next class, we're going to be going in depth. You're going to be learning it and seeing how it applies using AI. Remember, your AI is a what? Your VA, your PA, your EA. You are using it to work with you as a collaborative tool. Okay? It is not the one doing the job. You are the one doing the job. So you will have to work with your AI to do it. So we're going to be doing that as a live demo. All right, so please keep the chats alive as we jump into today's class. So we have the bridge from storytelling to content strategy. We are talking about AI visual styles. You already know most of them. We already talked about them. We're talking about content niches. We're talking about creator identity. We're talking about platform strategies. We're talking about audience attractions. So we already talked about this before. I told you guys to relax, that we're going to cover some of these things, okay? So visual styles, niche identity, and platform strategy, that's what we're going into. Okay, so here it is. Something changes today. Now, the question is, okay, you used to ask the question, okay, so now I have AI, but how do I tell a great story? But from today, the question should change to, how do I use story to build my life? Something that lasts for me. How do I use storytelling to build generational wealth? How do I use storytelling to transform my financial status? These should be the questions we should be asking going forward after today's class. We're no longer asking, how do I tell a great story? How do I use AI to tell a story? That's not what we are hearing. That's not what we are supposed to be hearing. Okay? From today, the question should now be, how do I now use AI? Combine AI with my storytelling talent. Make it into a skill that is monetizable. That should be the question going forward. Amazing. I see you. Rose International is saying, I'm inviting people from different places. Hope that's welcome. Yes. Please go ahead. You're welcome. You're actually, please, someone take note of that. I love that. Please. I have a gift for you after this class. I have a gift for you. Okay. So you guys, everyone who is doing that, please take note of them. Take note of them for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose International, for sharing to more people. We need that on here. The numbers are actually why we do this. Okay, it's encouraging. Okay, so where have we been? So we have talked about the story craft. You now understand structure. You now understand character. You now understand conflict. You understand visual language. Anyone that I'm calling and you don't understand, you better ask question. Okay, we understand colors. We understand costume. And all of this is basically the art of making something worth watching, right? We're trying to create something very, very nice. That's what we have been doing all the while. Where we are going now is content strategy. How do I find my niche? What platform do I find my niche? Like, do I find my audience? The people that want to watch what I am offering. Whether it is a film, whether it is a podcast, whether it is a cooking video, whatever you are creating, how do I find them? And how do I sustain them, which is what we call audience building. Audience building. Then also, as you're building your audience, guess what? You are building what we call a brand. Your creator identity. You are building what we now call a creator identity. And of course, your brand authority. Okay, so this is where we are going next when I talk about storytelling and content strategy. So you're not just creating, because if you create just anyhow, guess what? You will have anyhow people. And when you have anyhow people, you will not be able to sustain the momentum that will get you paid. Okay, let me repeat that. If you choose to do your storytelling anyhow, you will attract anyhow people. And these anyhow people will not be able to sustain your brand for you to get paid. So please pay attention. Welcome to everyone who is just joining or coming across my voice or this channel. You are not part of the program, but someone invited you to join here. Welcome. My name is Sandra Adeyeyebelo. I'm popularly known as SAB. Everybody calls me SAB. Feel free to call me SAB, okay? If you're not yet part of the program, you can easily request to be added to the program, okay? Or click the link in the description and join AFN, AI Filmmakers Network. That is where bigger creators, collaborate. You meet creators from across the globe, across Africa. You get to connect. You see different challenges. You can jump on challenges and work with them, okay? But this particular program, I'm bringing it to you in partnership with Oladuni Production. And yes, I know that we have diverse people coming across this. So just in case you're not part of the Oladuni's production, crowd, you can easily join AI Filmmakers Network. You're welcome. And everyone, even if you're part of Oladuni's production, don't feel left out. If that's what you desire, feel free. Okay? It's open to everyone. All right, so the science of making sure the right people find it, that's where we're going. Okay, so now let's answer this question, please. Why are you creating your current content? Like, I see a lot of us, we're chatting on our WhatsApp group, right? And most of us are saying, I have a lot of story I want to tell. I have a lot of story I want to tell. I have this, I have that. Let me ask you why exactly you have those stories. Why do you want to tell the stories you want to tell? Why do you want to tell that kind of story? I'm not talking about the type of film you want to make now. I'm talking about your why, right? Why exactly are you interested in the type of film that you feel like, or the kind of story you want to create? Why? Not the film. Don't tell me about your film now. It is not about your film. It is about you, the creator. Why exactly are you interested? Because really, whenever I work with my creators, I usually ask them, now, okay, so are you jumping in because everybody is doing it? Or are you doing it because that is exactly what you were called to do? That's the message you want to send, right? And why exactly? So, for example, someone that I know, maybe you might have seen his creations, Malik Afegboa. He's using AI to tell elder stories. He has a series called the Elder Series, right? And when I had a one-on-one with him, and I asked him why he actually does that, because most of his characters are like elderly women, elderly men, and he tries to create them doing things that are really, really abstract, out of this world, out of the ordinary. And I asked him why he actually does that. And he said, well, he was inspired, by his late mom. I don't know if this is a popular story he has shared anywhere, but basically he just feels like giving life to when people get older, there is almost a restriction on what they can do and what they cannot do. So basically through AI, just like I have been teaching this class, there is no limitation, and for him, he did not see a limitation to it. He creates action films with elderly people. He creates fashion shows with elderly people. Now, this is not a sponsored, of course, you guys know now, this is not a sponsored ad for this person, but I'm trying to jog your memory, and I'm asking you why exactly you do what you do. Why exactly do you tell the kind of stories you tell? I shared my own story with you guys yesterday. The reason I teach what I teach right now and teach AI to African creators is because why? We need to have more global representation, the Africans in global representation on these stages. When they're talking about AI, they should be able to talk about us, Africans, as participatory in the shaping of global AI. We should be represented. We should not be passerbys. We should not be people who, we get to hear it when it is already cooked, when it is already done, right? Basically, that is my why. That is my driving force. So I will continually show up. I will continually be vocal about it. I will continually push that. That is my why. This is not the content that I put out. This is me as the creator. So your question, or the question I am asking the creator who is on here right now, is why are you doing? Why are you creating? Why are you writing? Why are you creating the type of content that you create? Okay, that's the first question. Then the second question is, what is the result you are expecting from what you create? What do you want it to do in the world? Okay, like some of us can just say, oh, my content is not serious, I'm creating skits. Well, your skits should do something. It makes somebody laugh, right? It makes somebody, chuckle. It makes somebody's day, right? There should be a reason. So I want you to answer this. I'm going to go in the chat right now and I'll start reading your why, okay? Why do you create what you create as a storyteller, as a filmmaker? All right, so I'm here in the chat. You guys, furnish me with your why. Okay, furnish me with your why. Let me read your whys out. I'm going to be reading your whys. Why are you creating your current content? Why are you telling the type of story? Yes. These are the questions that we've been asking. Okay, so someone is telling me here, that's NASA Production, is saying the reason is because we exist not just for ourselves, but live to tell the stories of those around us. I don't understand how that affects you as a creator. I don't understand how that is specific to you. This is like a generalized answer. I don't need a generalized answer. I need your own answer, your own why. Why do you do the kind of stories? Like, we have had several assignments. Everybody has their style and their tone, when it comes to their assignments. The type of stories that you write, the type of stories that you create, why do you create it? Do you have a why to it? Do you have a why to it? Okay, so let's go there. Let's think. I want to be reading it. So I'm going down. I see Genesis Productions is here. They are saying, because that's what I have always dreamt of doing, and becoming a content creator and an influencer using AI or any platform that is usable without stress. Okay, I love it. I love that. Okay, so you already know that initially it is more like stress, yeah? But now the reason you want to do what you want to do is basically you want to become Become. I love it. All right. And you need a platform that will not stress your becoming. That's what I'm hearing from you. I hope that answers. That's exactly. I hope that's what you're trying to say, Genesis Production. I hope that's what you're trying to say. Okay, so Chimezie is saying, mine is to make money. Check. I love that. Mine is to make money. That's your why. I love it. So that's why you create content. So basically, you guys, that's why this person creates the type of content that they create. No wrong answers here, you guys. No wrong answers. I love it. Okay, so Rose International is saying the reason is because I feel like people should see from others' perspectives. I love it. The balanced story thingy. I think Chimamanda once said something about a one-sided story. So you want to bring another perspective into it. So when people see A, they should also hear from B as well. I love it. There's something I know, and sometimes I'll be like, if others are to have this type of mindset, what could they have done? Amazing. So your stories basically challenge the thinking and transforms people's mindset. I love it. Okay, so the Reformers Art Institute is saying, I create basically because I intend to reach out to young people out there. Okay, I want to teach these upcoming generation what it means to be a being with purpose. I love it. So basically, you are also in the transformation business through your stories. You guys, are you taking note of it? Because right now you are deep searching yourself. You're actually confronting, your reason. Because if you have no reason for anything, you know how they say it, once the purpose of something is not defined, abuse becomes inevitable, right? So you guys are right now, you are already checking yourself and seeing the purpose behind the gift that you have been given. Yes, it is a talent, but guess what? People can pay for that talent. That is what I'm here to tell you, right? But until you know your why, until you know the value of what you offer, no other person will know the value. Remember, you teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Okay, so for example, if you carry your own thing, you rub them from ground, you match them, you scrub them, you don't expect another person to pick it up and like, oh my God, take care of your things now. Another person might actually pick it up and say, oh, this person's trash is my gold, and they take it away. That is different. But that they will help you to care for it for you, no, they will not. So I am hoping that you are beginning to look at this and hold on to it. So the Reformers is saying, I believe that my works can reshape mindsets. I guess that's what they're trying to say. And also reform warped minds. That's why the name, the Reformers. I love it. Yeah, you're actually living up to the name. I love that. The fact that, you already understand that. Okay? All right. So we're moving forward. Now we understand our why. Okay? Let us now go into the second question of what do you want? What's the result? Whenever somebody sees your story, whenever somebody sees your film, what should they say? What should they feel? What should they live with? I want you guys to answer that. Anytime somebody comes across your film, you know how, for example, everybody knows Steven Spielberg. You know how, for example, everybody knows Kunle Afolayan. You know how, for example, everybody knows Funke Akindele, right? When somebody comes across your film or your story, what should they live with? What should they know you for? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's write it in the comment section. Let's begin to write that. Okay? When people come across your story, anywhere they come across your story, what should they remember? Because yes, these names that we just called, they did not make their names overnight. They did not just make those names overnight, right? Even the Kunle Afolayan, you say, yes, his father handed him the name, but he has worked for his name as well. You can see that he has also produced some amazing quality films as well. So, but you know that everyone has got their style. So what do you want people to actually know about you? What do you want to be remembered as a filmmaker? Let's talk about this. We're talking about strategy now, you guys. We're talking about strategy. We're not just here as filmmakers, right? This is showbiz. So we know the story. We know that you have a talent. We know that you have a gift. But if you don't answer these questions, how do you want to make money from it? If you don't answer these questions, how do you want to make money? right? So let's begin to answer the question, please. Let's talk. I'm in the comment section today. I'm reading. We're having a live brainstorming session, right? Let's talk about it. Okay, so I see a comment here from Neza Production. Neza is saying, the reason that I have always dreamed of becoming a writer, actor, and film producer. I have been writing stories since I was 6, and I'm pursuing this path to bring my stories, ideas, and dreams. I really do not know if you understand the question or deliberately not answering it. But yeah, the question was why. You have to find your why. This clearly shows that you do not know your why. And please try to ask yourself, imagine you're sitting with you right now. This is for Neza Production, right? And please don't feel bad if probably right now you do not get it. Okay? After this class, please sit with yourself and ask yourself, am I trying to be a filmmaker, or, because somebody told me to do it? Am I trying to do it because I enjoy doing it? You need to ask yourself, because if you don't know it, like I said, you don't expect another person to treat it better for you when you don't know it, okay? So check yourself. If you cannot answer this question now, then it already shows that there's a problem, okay? So I know that we all have different learning capacities. So yes, some people got it right now on the live stream. Some people might need some time to get it right. So take your time, okay? Once you get it, you can write it on the group for us, okay? All right, so Spielberg, genius, yeah. Okay, they should know me for epic AI storytelling. That's from Chimezie. Chimezie is saying what he wants, the result he wants to achieve at the end of the day should be that people should know him for epic AI storytelling. Check. I love that. So keep that. So your why, your initial why was, I want to make money. That's your why. Then your next, what result you were going for is that you want people to know you for an epic, as an epic storyteller, basically. So Chimezie, can you see how that puts together? So you have to always put that together. You're going to write that as your mission statement, okay? Your mission statement is, I am creating films to make money, and I want people, whoever comes across my film, to see me as an epic storyteller. That is your mission statement. Okay? So this will guide anything that you are doing going forward, because you will never be confused. Any day you feel confused, or maybe something happens, maybe your content is looking, go back to that mission statement. That will guide you back and bring you back on track, okay? So I hope that is clear, Chimezie. Chimezie has done their 2 tasks, and I think Chimezie is good. If no other person is doing their task, we're going to move forward. Okay, so Genesis Production is saying, what I would want them to know me for is the process of how useful my skills of AI filmmaking would change lives of those who are going to come across it, and the messages that it teaches. Okay, so Genesis Productions, your initial message was, I've always dreamt of doing this and becoming a content creator and influencer using AI platforms that are usable without stress. So you wanted to do create content and become an influencer in your industry using platforms that would not stress you. And then the result you're hoping for is that people should know you for the process of how useful your skills are. Should it be about your skills? You're not necessarily giving them your skills. You're giving them a story, right? It's basically about the feeling, yeah? So can you look at that again? So put together your mission statement. Look at the why and the what. Put it together. Make it a mission statement and send it back. Okay? So Rose International is saying, whenever people come across my story in the future, I want them to see a lesson worth carrying story. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I like that. A lesson was carrying. Okay, so Rose International initially said that they wanted people to, the reason they feel like, okay, so they want to basically transform people's perspectives and mindset, and their what is, that's the result they are hoping is people should come across their stories and want to see a lesson. Yes, so basically it matches. That actually matches, because if you're going to be doing mind transformation through your stories, that means people should always find a lesson in your story. So you can put that together as a mission statement, Rose International. I hope you can see how that matches now, right? You can see how that matches. Okay, so the Reformers Art Institute is saying, I want my audience to understand that art and spirit are one. Check. Through my works, my audience get to realize the existence and effects of the supernatural in our lives. I love it because that's very clear. You're very clear about your vision. So put your why and your what together. That becomes your mission statement as a filmmaker, okay? That should be like, if we were going to have like all these sticky notes, you should have them written down on those sticky notes and have it placed somewhere you can always see. Okay, so put it together. I love it. Okay, this already shows that we are right on track. So we're moving forward, you guys. We're moving forward. Well done for doing the work. Those who have done the work, well done, well done, well done. We're moving on. So the infinite visual canvas, one story, one message, one niche. Okay, produced in completely different visual worlds. Each visual style attracts a different audience. Okay, each one signals something different about your brand. Okay, so let's test that theory out. Okay, so if we're going to tell a hyper-realistic cinematic film, for example, the regular films that we see, are people still here? Please let me know if you can still hear me. I'm only seeing one person online. Just to confirm. Can anybody still hear me? So that I'll know if I should restart the live stream. Tell me if you can hear me so that I'll know if I should restart the live stream. I also want people to see that one studio. Okay, so you guys, can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm only seeing one person on the live stream, so I needed to confirm. All right, thank you, Soul Frames. Thank you. All right. Okay, so this is what we're trying to say whenever we are talking about styles, right? So in AI filmmaking, we have different styles. We have different styles of filmmaking, right? We have hyper-realistic style. We have 3D animation. We have paper and collage. We have anime and cel-shaded. We have abstract surreal. We have documentary. We have illustrated storybook. We have 2D animations, you guys. So one story, you can pick one story and choose to tell it in different feels. Right? I know that some of us already know all of this and we feel like, oh, if I want to take a real, so all of us, hyper-realistic basically in AI, hyper-realistic is basically the one that you do already with traditional filmmaking. That means you're using real life characters, real life actors to tell your story, to shoot your film. That's what hyper-realistic means when it comes to AI. So anytime you're trying to create something that is, I hope you guys have gone through your book, the one that we shared with you with all the vocabulary, the words that we'll be using. So I hope this is not new to you. So whenever you see hyper-realistic, that means it is real to life. We're trying to do something that is realistic, right? You can see photorealistic, you can see ultra-realistic, anything that you see that has to do with realistic attached to it. It means that we are trying to do something that is real to life, right? We're trying to do something that feels real. It would look like real actors. It will look like real people, right? That's basically what we mean when we say hyper-realistic or cinematic, right? Okay, so 3D animations, you already know this one. All those, your Disney cartoons, all those stuff, the characters are moving. What do they call that one? That's Let It Snow. Is it Let It Snow? I'll be Let It Go. Let It Go, Let It Go. Dun, 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 dun. And all those AI, Bible, whatever. You guys, Frozen, yeah? I think they call it Frozen. Yeah, so Frozen. So that's basically 3D animations, like your characters and the rest are they're moving. Paper collage, you guys know paper collage now. This is like your paper, like it looks like real cartoon, but basically the cartoons are like papers, right? It looks like you use scissors to cut them out and you're like making them into moving stuff. Stop motion people usually use this. Stop motion, they usually use the paper thingy and just move and but in AI you can actually use that as a style to create your film. So I'm telling you this because one story we're going to try and explore how one story, the message changes. That's why we had to do the first exercise, okay? So that you know your why. Your why will guide you, so that tomorrow you will not see somebody's film that maybe they did it in 3D and you say, their own is so fine. You now choose to go and change your own style to do it in hyperrealistic or 3D. Maybe your style is for hyperrealistic, but you looked at, maybe, let's see, the Reformers Art Institute did their film in 3D and you say, no, their own is too fine. Let me go and do my own story like that. Please, everybody here, you are on a journey of your own. That is why I asked you to tell your own story. Okay, that is why I asked you to answer those questions, so that question will guide you in your production. You are going to be given tasks to produce. Your duty is to know these styles and know how the styles affect your own film. Okay, yes. Throughout this program, you might be given like assignments and say, I might tell you guys, do one style. Everybody do one style, right? But there will come a time, like for your own project, you might choose that, now I have explored all these styles, but I like this particular style because it tells my story the right way. I want you to begin to note that, okay? Don't say, this person is telling their story like this, so me too, I want to go and tell it like that. No, there are options. Anim and cell shaded, these ones now, you should know them now. Initial, what do they call them? All those Tom and Jerry, Flintstones, and all that. You know them now. I don't. All those Korean cartoons, they had. So you guys have, those who have seen my music videos on this channel, you see that I use a lot of this, right? Creating worlds that are abstract, so you can actually come up with a world of your own and say, okay, so I decided to create a separate world for my characters. They are living maybe they are living inside cloud, maybe they are living inside a donut, maybe they are living inside a tree, maybe they are living inside whatever you choose to come up with. It is your own choice to come up, and create them. Basically, that's what this gives you. It gives you that's what do we call it now? The opportunity to create, abstract, surreal. It is up to you. Your mind is basically what shapes this particular style. Okay. And then documentary style, of course, we all know the popular documentary style now. It has to look really epic, and there is, every time you watch a documentary, you know that, well, it's quite different from regular film, right? So yes, you can actually use an AI to create documentary as well. You can also create illustrated storybooks and so on. So basically, depending on the turnout, we'll know if we should explore what you can actually create apart from films, right? We love that. Do we want to see other things that we can create apart from films, so that we can express that as well? So illustrated storybooks, you guys know storybooks now. I feel like I love what's going on in the chat. We're giving examples of each of these styles, right? So that will help more people to also understand. Those who do not understand it can understand. All right. And of course, 2D animations, they are usually flat, and the rest, like Tom and Jerry, all these other, like SpongeBob and the rest, they're usually like flat animations, right? So these are all expressions that you can use AI to create. Yes, they are all styles that you can use AI to create. So the reason we started from here, because I don't want Rose International to look at the Reformers Art Institute and say, why is your own story like this? My own is not like that. It is left for you. It depends on the story you are telling. So now look at the example that we have here. So imagine you are creating a warm animated devotionals. It works for what? Illustrations, children's books, right? Children Bible stories. You can use that here, right? But that same thing might not necessarily work for abstract, because if you know that children need you to be very expressive and explain everything, then imagine you are trying to be abstract about it. You are confusing the kids. Yeah, you're confusing the kids. So think about it. Does your style that you have chosen, is it because you like it, or because it will actually tell your story? Okay, so you need to think about that. All right, so let's go into faceless content and talk about this quickly. Today is all about strategy. We are moving our stories now. I want you guys to begin to think about your stories and the platforms, how you're going to strategize and put yourself up, set yourself up as an authority in your field. Okay. So the AI creator's advantage, you do not need to be on camera to build a massive audience today. No, you don't. And you know most of this already, because as a traditional filmmaker, while you're making your films, of course, you need to go on location and the rest and all of that. But guess what? AI has taken all that stress, right? And today on your social media, you can actually build a massive audience depending on how sweet, how good, how entertaining, how important, how valuable your story is to your audience. That's what we're talking about. So what faceless AI content looks like is what it means that it's an AI generated virtual avatar delivering content in your voice and style. So yes, you guys have seen, I tried that. I showed you that on like maybe day 1 or day 2, where I had my characters, my avatars. I was not on screen. I've not been on screen since we started this class, right? But I've had my characters debate to you, right? Although I did not use my voice in that one, but I would definitely show you while we go along how to use your voice when it comes to, creating stuff like that. You can also get voiceover narrations over cinematic AI visuals. Your mentor, who is the African Spark Tales, they usually do that a lot. So those who are, interested in that line of work, you might consider interning with them. Animated characters representing your brand, these are possibilities, right? That is also faceless content. You can also create a documentary style content built entirely from AI imagery and TTS narration. That's basically your voiceovers, yeah? AI voiceovers. You can also create a news anchor, virtual host like podcasters or fictional presenters, depending on what you want to do. Some of us want to create talk shows, right? You see all those talk shows that they have, that Bisola is hosting. You see all those talk shows that, what are they calling him? What's this guy from South Africa is hosting, right? You can actually come up with your own idea and you say, oh, this is what you want to create. It is possible to do that now with AI. You can choose to come up with your AI news anchors, create a news channel and say, for example, we have Rose International Studios here and we say Rose International Studios News, and Rose International Studios will come up with their own newscaster that will always be coming to watch. They will pick news from the general world, the general public, and their newscaster would bring up those news, read those news to us professionally. We can also have the Reformers Art Institute, TRAI News or TRAI podcast, where probably, of course, they are all about reforming the minds. And imagine the news is like the podcast, they are always sharing about things that will transform your mind and connect you based on what they have said that their brand does. We can also have the Genesis production talking about, presenters. Maybe you have, for example, all these skits where people go on the street to go and ask people questions, right? Holding the microphone and they go out there to go and ask people questions. You can do that. What do they call that, right? What they call that type? Voice of on the street, right? Is that what they call it? Okay, Vox Pop, yeah, the Vox Pop, yeah. Okay, so you can actually have, create up that kind of content, right? So it's possible to do that. Yes, you can also create a vlog. Yes, you can also create a vlog and say maybe your influencer is living their normal lives. They wake up, they brush their teeth, they clean the house, they wash the plates, they do. You can also, depending, it all depends on your mind, on your ideas, whatever you come up with, okay? Okay, so now this is the niche thing. Let's talk about niching. So yes, like I said, we're exploring other possibilities beyond just filmmaking. All of it is actually filmmaking if you look at it, because normally you would have been called with your camera and your microphone and your lights and your crew to come and cover it. Maybe a cooking video. They will call you and say, come and cover this, come and cover that, right? Maybe a wedding, for example, I think, for example, the only thing that maybe some people will say, that might not be done currently might just be like maybe weddings, real life weddings, right? For those real life coverage, right? But every other thing that is recorded, you can actually do it with AI right now. But I also feel like for the real life recording, if you can get sometimes the photographers would actually lose the SD card or whatever happens. But if you can actually get a full picture of this husband and wife, guess what? you can come up with a very beautiful wedding brochure or video for them. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that someone is becoming, you're beginning to think outside the box. You're beginning to get creative. Okay, answer me now. Okay, was that for me? Was there a question? Was there a question for me? Was that question for me? Can you repeat that question if that question was for me? I don't know if that question was for me. Right? Okay, so look at this here. We're talking about niche. Your niche box, okay? Or a photo book. Yes. Right? The photo book thingy. Yes, you can actually give people a digital makeover, right? Yes. So we're going to be exploring most of that if, the turnout is encouraging as the days go by. Currently, it is not encouraging, but yeah, we keep showing up, right? So a niche is not a box. It is a lane. Right? So your lane, your niche is basically what you have defined yourself as. We have asked you why you create what you create and what you want people to get. Okay? So that is basically that is you defining where you want to fit in. So that automatically has become your niche. That was why I asked you that question, so that you don't go dabbling into many things. If you're dabbling into too many things, people will not know you for anything. Right? They'll say, this person that does this person that does that, and so on. It becomes confusing for your audience and they don't know. Like I said before, if you are trying to attract everybody, you will attract people who will not be able to sustain your brand for you, okay? Most creators avoid choosing a niche because they fear limiting themselves. The truth is the opposite. The narrower your niche, the faster you build authority. Right? The faster you build authority. So initially, just like everybody, when AI came, generative AI and the rest, I also hopped on it and I said, I started to explore the tools. As I was exploring the tools, I was exploring it in the open. Yeah. And I was getting those chua, like all these new brands that want to introduce their platforms and the rest. But guess what? The more I was doing it, some other people were still using it as joke, as a play tool. Yeah. And our own people were still lost when it comes to, the tools in general. So how did I separate myself? I said, well, I have knowledge about this thing. The concept is to be able to think about it and build around it. And that's how I decided to find my own niche. I'm good at teaching. I love to teach. And I can simplify any idea at all to the barest minimum. How did I do this? This is my niche. I decided to make myself, instead of just an AI creator, instead of just an AI filmmaker, I have become an AI educator. Do you understand? So find a problem and fix it. So for those of us who are also storytellers, which we have discovered here, all you need to do is what? Focus on your why and your what. As long as you can answer your why and your what, you are good to go. That becomes your niche. You can create 1,000 content focusing on your why and your what. That already separates you from everybody else. As long as you can answer your why and your what, keep that as, like I said, your sticky note. You can write it on a sticky note and say, this is my why. You can write that one on the sticky note and say, this is my what. And then join it together on another sticky note and make it into a sentence that defines the kind of creator you are. Once you can define that, that becomes your niche. It does not limit you. It helps you to build your authority. So people are not confused about, who is the Reformers Art Institute? Who is Soul Frames? Who is Rose International Studios? They are not confused. Once they come across your content, they know. Right? For example, when you go to Omoni Oboli's page or her YouTube channel, what do you see? You see a lot of love stories. Love stories. She has defined it and said, okay, I'm going to be telling a lot of African telenovelas, the stories that, the same stories that we watch as on Z World, on all this stuff. Basically, that's what she's doing. That's what she's translated. She just said, no, I see a market here. Z World is carrying most of our women. Most of our, they are all watching Z World and the rest. Why can't we do this kind of love stories as well? Basically, she's doing that same thing. So she's telling you the exact same love story. So what would you, as a storyteller, begin to tell as your own stories? What would you be known for? Every one of them, I know that you can start to pick all of them now. You can tell me the type of stories that they tell. The people that tell horror stories, the people that tell this, the people that tell that, the people that also challenge your mindset, you know them. So focus on your expertise, okay? What your passion will do for you. Think about it. What could you talk about for hours without being paid? Which we already know. That is your fuel. Without, your content dies. If you don't know that, that's your what, basically, your why, right? Then your what is basically your expertise, right? Your why is basically your passion. You can do it. All of us are already living on passion right now, right? But we want to move from show, which is the passion, to biz, which is where we will get paid. So expertise, what do you know from living that most people do not? So I loved it when a couple of us answered and we were saying, I think Rose International said that when she said, I have some experiences and I feel like if I can tell these stories, more people will begin to, shape their perspectives. So yes, that is your what. You already found your why and you know your what. So put it together and make that your niche, okay? Lived knowledge is your content advantage. Nobody can replicate it, all right? Market demand. Is there an audience actively looking for this? This is now where we have married our why and our what together, right? Now we are moving into, how do I present this to people? How do I present it that somebody wants to buy it? Somebody wants to reach out to me. Somebody wants to stay and watch my film from the beginning to the end. How do I present it? For example, imagine I did not present myself as a teacher or a tutor of AI filmmaking and content creation. How will Oladuni's production have met me? Right? Because there are a lot of people out there right now who are using AI tools actually. Yeah, but can they teach it? Can they actually teach it? Can they teach what they know? Basically, they are all just dabbling into things and, and showing it off like, oh, I just did this, I just did that. But can they teach it? Right? So you have to position yourself properly for the market. Who do you want to attract? Who are the people you want to watch your film? Who are the people you want actually to reach out to you? That is exactly what we're talking about here when we talk about market demand. It's not just about having the skill. It's not just about knowing what you want to say. It's not just about being the best in what you do. It is about positioning yourself where you can be seen, you can be searched out, and you can be hired for that skill. Okay, that is the strategy we are talking about. For the storytelling, you already have that figured out. You know it already. But now the strategy is, how do I position myself? How do I become the person that people go to for this? If I want to watch a romantic film now that is Nigerian, whatever, Nigerian and African based love story and so on, I know where to go. I'll just go to Omoni Oboli's channel and watch that. Right? Simple. She has already set herself up as that. So I'm not confused. That is what you should be trying to do. Don't confuse your audience. Make sure that your audience knows you as this. When they talk about SAB, what do you know? That is exactly the point here. That is exactly the point. Is there an audience actively looking for this? Passion without demand is your diary. Passion without demand is a diary. Find where all three align. What are we talking about, all three? We are talking about your passion, your expertise, and the market demand. That means you're putting together your why, your what, and then when you package your why and your what together, you put it in the right place that people can find. Now, not everywhere is the right place. Not everywhere is the right place. You might be in the wrong place, offering the right value. Nobody will find you. The right person that you want will not find you. So don't confuse it. Don't worry. We are going to talk about that. It's part of the strategy. Okay? It is also part of the strategy. How do you get what you are offering to the right people? Now, look at this. Look at this. We're trying to build a generic, what do we call this now? We're trying to build a generic concept of who are looking for what you are offering. So, for example, if you're building a food and cooking content, who are the people that are interested? Families. Families are interested in this. Diaspora audience. Like, for example, it depends on the kind of delicacy you're cooking. Maybe you're cooking African foods, African dishes, or whatever, right? So if you're trying to do that, or Spanish, or whatever you decide to be cooking, with your character, right? These are basically, food is something that every family, it is not restricted to a certain demographic. It is basically something that everyone will embrace, right? And for example, if you also niche down to creating probably African foods, you would be attracting who? Diasporan, audience, people who want to see how the latest African dish is being made, how fast can it be made, or whatever. Look at it, home cooks. People who are chefs now, cooking in certain big restaurants or whatever, or people's homes, right? Maybe you hire a house help and you are saying you have to learn this food. Where would they learn the food? They have to come and watch. So you, the person who is creating that content, you are serving those type of people. So I hope you're seeing that now. So if you're offering finance content, finance and wealth, who are the people you're actually looking to attract? Think about this here. This is it, because this is the thing with a lot of people. They are creating content. They don't know who, will come and be watching their content. They don't know. So they will be talking to everybody and talking to nobody. But if you're creating, this is generic. This is generic, you guys, right? This is basically generic. When you have chosen your niche, you can choose that, hey, the people I want to talk to are pastors. The people I want to talk to are what? My boyfriend. The people that are this, you will know that this is what, specifically you want to talk to. But this one that I built here, this one is generic. But it is the global concept of, if you are doing finance content, who are the people you will talk to normally? Young professionals and entrepreneurs. These are people that are money conscious, right? Young people that are trying to, build their lives. They just got their first job. They're trying to make something out of their lives. Entrepreneurs. These are people that see money. They are conscious of money. So when you are doing finance or wealth content, these people are interested in it. So you will not be looking for your audience. So these are generic. So begin to think about it. Fashion and beauty. Whenever you are doing a fashion and beauty content or film or whatever you're doing, always think about it. Who are the people that will watch it? These are people who are style conscious. They might not be fashionable. They might not be out there. But guess what? Some of them are looking for it, to know it for conversation. They might be entering some rooms where they will be able to talk about it and say, oh, do you know the summer wear, the summer style, the summer whatever, They should have something to say. Style conscious people. Young women, of course, that fashion sells when you involve women. Not like men are not involved in fashion, but really, who are the people that actually go shopping for the sake of it? Like maybe they would just want to feel good about themselves. A lot of young women. I know that now we have this gender thingy that is becoming, but yeah, young women, right? And of course, the aspirational. For example, they tell you dress the way you want to be addressed. So someone who is still earning probably one figure wants to earn six figure. Guess what? He wants to feel like the CEO that he is. He will go and buy a new clothes. He would change his wardrobe. He would, or someone who is trying to lose weight or whatever, all those things now, the aspiration, and they have dreams. So they want to look like their dreams. So dress as you want to be addressed. That is it here. These are the people who are fashion conscious. These are the people that will be watching fashion content. And of course, fashion content is wide. It varies. It depends on how you're doing it. You can have a fashion podcast. You can have a fashion talk show. You can have a runway show. Whatever you want to do, yes, you can actually do it with AI. But I'm telling you that if you are actually going to be in the fashion niche, who are your organic, generic and general audience? These are them. Style conscious, young women, and the aspirational. These are the people that you should be going to. Okay, so if you're creating entertainment and drama, your films are going to be entertainment and drama. Look in the area of who. These are your organic audience, story lovers, people that already like story, that they watch story. For example, if I want any influencer, their audience now, I need to start to write their name for my content, because their audience will automatically be my audience. If you want to create films, Omoni Oboli's audience are automatically your audience. You have to know how to attract those audience. They already love stories. They already show up to watch stories. Why do you think that everybody, all the Nollywood actors that used to act before, all of them now are now producers? All of them that used to act before, they are all producing for their YouTube channels. Why? Because it is easy. There are already people who already love stories. So it is easy to tap into that niche and say, oh, I create stories, so I need to try and create a story that is, so that the people that love Omoni Oboli's story, they might one day come across my channel. Because yes, those people are exactly your audience. Story lovers and binge watchers, right? Those people that can subscribe to Netflix, DSTV, watch YouTube morning till night, and so on. Those are your audience if you're creating entertainment and drama shows. Okay, news and commentary, the people who are interested are who? The informed. Of course, you know them, elites, X people, the people on X that are always arguing about one thing or the other. They have opinions, very opinionated people. Trust me, these are the people that are interested in what? The informed, and they are interested in news and commentaries. Okay, so if you're creating what? Kids and education. If you're creating kids and education content, who are the people that are most interested in your kind of content? Parents, schools, children between 2 to 12. These are the people who are interested in kids content. So whether you're creating kids content for Bible story, do you know all these industries, all these niches I'm talking about now? You can create variety of them. For example, this news that we are talking about, news and commentary here, you can create entertainment news. You can create normal social news. You can create, do you understand? So each of them, I'm just naming them as industries, right? So it depends on, they all vary depending on who, but I'm just giving you the generalistic overview of the type of audience that go for those types of content, right? So health and wellness, the people that you would most likely be talking to in your content will be fitness seekers, people in transformation. They are undergoing transformation for whatever. Then if you're doing travel and lifestyle content, you're basically going to be attracting wanderers and the global curious. So these are the audience. You need to know your audience, okay? If you're doing music and arts kind of content, right, the people you're trying to attract are who? Creatives, cultural consumers. You should know these generic ones before you start to slim it down, okay? Before you trim it and make it, trimmer and the rest. If you're creating personal development content, the people you are trying to attract are growth-minded people who are starting over, people who are rebuilding their lives, have gone through one thing or the other, and they're trying to rebuild their lives. Right? If you're creating faith and spirituality kind of content, the people you're trying to attract are who? Churches, diaspora, the spiritually curious, people who are navigating their spiritual lives, coming into awareness of whatever. Do you understand? These are the people you're going to be attracting. And of course, like I said, and I'm repeating it again, these are industries, right? Your duty is to know in this industry, what type of content am I going to create specifically? All right. So for history and culture, the people you'll be attracting are the curious people, diaspora people, and educators, of course, right? If you're creating business and entrepreneurship kind of content, you're attracting founders, side hustlers, ambitious professionals. If you're creating sports and fitness content, you're attracting people who are fans, athletes, and the performance minded type of people. If you're creating technology and AI, you're attracting people who are curious. For example, every time that I have gone live, I have met people who knew next to nothing about AI and just wanted to know, what is she saying about this thing, right? So you're attracting the curious and the future focused. So yes, you guys, you're the future focused. You're the future of Nollywood, and you know that, right? So these are the people that we attract. So yes, I hope that you have found who you're going to be working with. So tell us in the chat, who do you see your audience as? Who do you see your audience as? Okay, so the chat is what I know from living, the audience I want to serve, my niche at the intersection. You guys see the assignment on the chat now. Let me go into the chat while we are doing this assignment. Quickly, let's do this assignment together in the chat. Have you figured out your core message? Your core message, your mission statement is basically your why and your what together. And now you now know your niche. Who will you be serving? Who are the people you'll be serving? Do you know your who now? We have done why, we have done what, and now we are talking about the who, right? We have talked about the who already. I've shown you the who, general statements of who you will be serving depending on what kind of content you are creating, right? So do you know it now? Can you share in the chat? Let me see those who have got something from what we have been saying before. So if you're following and you've been getting values, type in the chat. Type in the chat. If you are lost, say I am lost. Let me hear from you. If you're lost, say I'm lost. Tell me where you're lost so that we can find you. Tell me where you are lost so that we can find you. Okay, so we have African Sparktails here. I feel like whatever you are creating, you should have known your passion, which is the why, not because others are doing it, so you don't start lagging or losing interest in being consistent. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Genesis Production was asking a question. Ma, please, can it be used for ads and promoting of brand or products? Yes, that's all I've been saying. Yes. Everything is possible right now with AI, right? It is completely possible. You can create ads with AI. Completely possible, very possible. Actually, a lot of businesses and brands are currently using it. Your competitors are using it. Yes. So yes, you can. Don't worry. That's also part of the package, right? That's why I'm saying you guys are not encouraging me. You guys should encourage me so that we can bring, this value. There is so much we can do together, right? Okay. So I hope I answered your question. You asked if it can be used for promoting of ads or products. Yes, you can. Yes, you guys will be given tasks. Once we get into video productions, you'll be paired with one or two persons to come up with projects and do projects on this, journey. Okay, so you'll be doing projects, and some of us will be playing, we'll test out generic looks. We'll also test out real life looks. For example, I can star in your film, and for example, another person can star in my film. We can do that, right? You cast me in your film, I cast you in my film. We can have that going. So these are some of the plans that we have for you. So just relax, okay? For adverts and all, yes, it's possible to do. Okay, so yes. Do I see any other comment here? Neuro voice media, okay. International niche, neurodiversity, disability inclusion, human potential, and impactful storytelling. Okay, so that's your niche. So that's basically for the dyslexis. How do you pronounce that? Can you write it in the pronunciation way? Dyslexics journalist. Okay, write it in the way I can pronounce it. I know that's like a word. I know I've heard it before. It's always tongue twisting me. Okay, so what do you know from? Okay. So this person is just scribbling what we are talking about. Market demand, this year, and audience. Yes. Okay, no questions again. So we move forward. I don't think you guys have questions, yeah? Okay, so we're moving forward. You guys don't want to tell me who you're going to be serving, huh? You don't want to. You think someone else will steal it? Hey, these people are hoarding their knowledge. I'm serving the younger generation. Okay, so the reformers is saying I'm serving the younger generation who are inquisitive about how to navigate life. Audiences who feel lost and confused about their purpose. That's my audience. So you guys, I gave you generic audience chat here, the audience sheet here. So if you say young audience and so on, you probably fit here. Are you doing finance and wealth? Are you doing spirituality? And, when you say the curious, are you doing history and culture? Are you doing faith and spirituality? You guys can see that here. I gave you the cheat sheet here so that you'll be able to know who you're trying to attract. Can you guys see this? So this will help you. You don't need long words. You can see that this was straightforward. You don't need bogus words to describe what you're doing. If you cannot describe it simply, then probably you don't know it, right? You should be able to describe it in simple terms so that you are not confused and you don't confuse anybody, right? So simple words. Just come up with, I'm serving this type of person. This is the type of person I'm serving, and so on. All right. So yes, let's do the task. I'm waiting for others. Okay. So, Genesis Production is saying what I'll be doing now is creating of ads and promoting of goods and services to companies or organizations that deal with goods and services using my AI, and I'll be serving companies and organizations or business individuals across the globe. Amazing. That's a good mission. I want to specialize in history and culture. Amazing. And then faith and spirituality. Good. Okay. So we move on. So you can see there are different types of content here. There's educational content, there's entertainment content, there's inspirational content, there is inspirational personal brand, documentary style, AI storytelling, faceless, creator-led. Don't worry, you're getting these slides right. I want us to move fast, okay? So which one or two content types feel the most natural to you? I feel like you already know that. Now let's go into platforms. The reason I'm speeding up is because I want us to talk about platforms quickly. Okay. So you already know your kind of content. You already know who you want to serve. That's your audience, right? So the question now, we have done why, we have done what, we have done